Hello, 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 everybody. We are back with another episode of the Tyreek Told You podcast. We're back with another very late episode. Yeah, we're late again. 2 weeks in a row. We are tardy. I don't know what to call it. Tyreek's Tardy podcast. Listen, I apologize once again, but this has been a very, very busy week for me. I was sick at one point. I've just had a whole lot to do, a lot of running around. I know I work full time also, and like work is picking up. It always picks up around February, March. So, working and then doing social media, then still having to do this. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And I really do mean my apology. I'm not being like shady or sarcastic. I do apologize. But I'm here. I'm here, and we are back for another wonderful show. So let's discuss what happened this week. It's still Black History Month, still in a dashiki. Get into it. This one's orange, my favorite color. You can't celebrate Black History Month without an orange dashiki. So, yeah. What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do I want to talk about? I got a little outline over here. Do I want to start with the butt eater? Are y'all familiar with the girl who flew out to go eat some man's ass? Do y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about it. All right, so the flying butt eater. There's basically this woman on TikTok. She's like 31, 32. She's 31. She has three kids, but you know what? Her big age and her litter of children was not enough to stop her from booking her own flight to fly to Atlanta to try to lick this man's butt. So first off, this young lady is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, stunning. So the fact that she's out here acting like this lets you know that looks are not everything. And just because you look a certain way does not mean you have high self-esteem or high self-respect. She is clearly a bird, not gonna lie. She sounds like she's from Philly. I'm not sure where she's from yet, but yeah. So this young lady is in the Bahamas celebrating one of her children's birthdays, and I guess she was scrolling through her Instagram Explore page and came across the account of this fly YN. He looked good, he dressed nice, he got money, designer this, designer that, watches on each wrist, which I fucking hate. That's the tackiest shit you can do if you ask me. But you could tell he had a little something to spend, and that's her type. She like get money hood niggas. So, they start DMing, they exchange numbers. The guy, he lives in Atlanta, and like he basically asked her when is she coming out to see him or whatever. I think she was available that next weekend, so she just went ahead and booked herself a flight. And she knew things were getting a little shaky when we are a few days before this trip. She getting her nails and stuff done, and she texting him, and she's not liking the way he's responding. He tells her that he's going to be with his kid during the time that she's coming, and she's upset because she already booked the flight, booked the hotel. She literally flies out that night, and it's like just a lot. He says that she should still come, and that he'll just get like a babysitter or whatever. They can hang out and have a fun weekend in Atlanta. All right, let me clear something up because I'm watching this in real time. Like I got it up on my iPad. There she go. Y'all see her? Oh, I should probably put it here. Y'all see her? Yeah, she's telling the story. She didn't book a hotel at first. She was supposed to stay with him at his house, but she can't stay there now because he's with his daughter. So he tells her to book a hotel and like he'll reimburse her, I guess. And she asks him, okay, but what's your budget since you reimbursing me? And he looked confused. She confused. It sounded like he don't want to pay her back for that money. But yeah, there's issues with getting a hotel. He then tells her to book the room and he'll pay for the rest of the trip. Mind you, this man is a scammer. So in her mind, you got all these pieces. I shouldn't be paying for nothing. This whole conversation is happening via text as she's on the flight, by the way. So she's flying to Atlanta with no place to stay, essentially. So when she lands, she's annoyed already because this boy don't want to pay for her a room or whatever. So she's like, fuck it, just, cancel the sitter, stay with your daughter. I'm gonna just enjoy my weekend here in Atlanta. And then, of course, in typical Hawaiian fashion, he starts gaslighting her, saying, oh, you already got a man out here. You came out here to go see somebody else. Ah, ah, ah. Y'all know how that goes. So now she's in Atlanta at the airport. She got some Spirit Airlines flight attendant helping her out. And she basically tells, oh boy, if I end up paying for this hotel, you not coming over. I agree. That's what you should do. This orange is good, by the way. I'm eating an orange. Do y'all like oranges? I could eat oranges every single day. I'm a citrus baby. So now she has convinced herself that this guy is just fronting for the gram. He don't really have it like that because she used to fucking with get money niggas and rappers and big ballers and all that. And the ones who really got it, they don't mind sharing it. They don't mind spending it. They don't mind putting you up. And he wasn't willing to do that. So, maybe the lifestyle was fraudulent. Earlier, I said she sounded like she's from Philly. The more I listen to her, I think she's from Baltimore. But like Philly, Baltimore, that whole little corridor. New York, Philly, and Baltimore is like all cousins. DC kind of too, but they more distant. But sometimes some accents they get a little, yeah. So I just finished part one of the video. I'm on part two now. I didn't realize it was this many parts. This is like an hour's worth of content she got up here. I'm gonna try to get the condensed version. Um, she's like responding to some comments. She's saying the reason why she even did all that is because the guy just looks that good. Mind you, she's 31, he's 25. Don't nobody look good enough to have me out here embarrassing myself mid-flight. Um, She's telling us how she travels by herself. Like traveling to Atlanta alone is nothing because she done been to Thailand and Paris and Dubai. Speaking of Dubai, I know Onija, she's still locked up over there. They said she like burnt a cigarette on somebody's face or something. I don't know, but she not coming home no time soon. And she didn't fly Spirit. She flew United. So now she's basically just reiterating how men spend money on her. They always drop a bag. They take her on shopping sprees into nice restaurants and all this other stuff. And I'm laughing because I just put up the comments. One of my mutuals, shout out to you, Black Pinup Doll. If you see this, I'm talking about you. See the first comment, she's going to say, nah, LOL, he looked like he's 17. Like, all right, and now we are going to head on over to Gotti Boy Ant's page. He's the guy that this girl was talking to. Now, this guy really did come up because he made a TikTok not even a week ago, and he's already at 101,000 followers. His first video got 3 million views, so let's see what he has to say. First off, like I saw bits and pieces of this. And I love how like I can just identify an accent immediately. I knew he was from Chicago within like the first half a second. Now he got screenshots and text messages and everything. He kind of looked like King Von. I'm not from Atlanta at all. I'm not from Atlanta at all. I'm from Iraq. I live in Atlanta. Now let's get into these screenshots. Now this is her talking. Baby, you good? I'm not tripping. I don't do that. But I mean, we both know how the problem could be solved. This is him responding. You right. I hate small talk. Let me know when you in Atlanta. This is her. That's crazy. Okay. His response. You said it. Only way it could be only way it could be resolved is by seeing each other. Yes, I agree. So when I'm in Atlanta, I'll hit you. Like I'm never just in Atlanta. I booked it. This is her saying she booked the flight. My cousin got me scared. LOL. She's screaming, you don't even know him. This is his response. What she thinks I'm gonna do? What she think? See that they don't use punctuation, everybody. What she think? I'm gonna do some what? I'm gonna do some to you or some. Okay, we have a laughing emoji. What she think, Ellen? What? Okay, all right. What? What she think? I'm gonna do some to you or some? Okay. Y'all get the point. This is a bird and a scammer talking. I can't parse through that. Okay, now according to Gotti Boy Ant, there was never a plan for this woman to stay with him at his house. He told her beforehand that his daughter was coming, and he doesn't bring strange women around his children. That's respectful. She came anyway, and he told her she needed to find herself a hotel, something that she can afford, because she went and flew herself out here with no place to stay. That was on you. I mean, so far, I see where he's coming from. So after, I got to get that girl's name. Hold on, what's this girl name? The girl's name is Slim Thickum. But anyway, she settled into her hotel and she sends Gotti Boy Ant a picture of some throat numbing spray and some Listerine strips. She asking him if he ever got his ass ate. Like, she really just out there. Gotti is 25, Slim Thickum is 31. Sis, you don't fly out to go eat the ass of a man 6 years your junior. You damn sure don't spend your own money to do that. He wants to get his ass ate. He needs to pay for that service.
It's not gonna like blur it out some shit. Hold on, what the fuck? This way, you throwing me off now. You know what I mean? You throwing me off. You throwing me all the way off. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just like, nah, hell no. Mm-mm. She won't be seeing me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna link up with you. I'm not finna have sex with you. It ain't none of that going on. Like, I'm cool on it. I'm straight on it. Now, man, it would never ever
That was my favorite part. She won't be seeing me at all. And yeah, that's all the energy I have for that. I know like there's some other girl involved now, Nye to God. I'm not getting into all that. But yeah, this has had TikTok up in a frenzy all week, you know? Ladies, do not spend your own money to go fly out and see a man. And if you want to eat ass, that's perfectly fine, but you don't just throw your face in a stranger's butthole. So beyond that, I was privileged enough to be able to sit down and interview Michael Blake. If you don't know, Michael Blake is running for mayor of New York City. Um, his team reached out to me and, they said they liked my stuff. And they just thought that we could maybe get some good content out of it and, get his name and his face out there. He was super, super cool. The whole team was cool. We did the interview at Restoration Plaza. Y'all know I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and if you're from the Stuy, you know Restoration. So being able to have such a big moment, such an iconic venue meant a lot. And it's Black History Month. So in Restoration's lobby, they've got like this Black art exhibit going on. And when I was looking at some of the pieces, I came across a photo of one Bessie Coleman. Bessie Coleman was actually a pilot back in her day. And I know I'm doing this whole Black History highlights segment, Blistery. And I said, oh, well, she's going to be the Blistery person for this week's episode. So let's talk about Bessie Coleman. Bessie Coleman, born January 26, 1892, and died April 30th, 1926, was an early American civil aviator. She was the first African American woman and first Native American to hold a pilot license, and is the earliest known Black person to earn an international pilot's license. She earned her license from the Fédération, okay, it's in French, Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. That's my French accent. On June 15th, 1921. Born to a family of sharecroppers in Texas, Coleman worked in the cotton fields at a young age while also studying in a small segregated school. She attended one term of college at Langston University. Coleman developed an early interest in flying, but African Americans, Native Americans, and women had no flight training opportunities in the United States. So she saved and obtained sponsorships in Chicago to go to France for flight school. She then became a high profile pilot in notoriously dangerous air shows in the United States. She was popularly known as Queen Bess and Brave Bessie and hoped to start a school for African American flyers. Coleman died in a plane crash in 1926. Her pioneering role was an inspiration to early pilots into the African American and Native American communities. Coleman would not live long enough to establish a school for young black aviators, but her pioneering achievements served as an inspiration for a generation of African American men and women. Because of Bessie Coleman, wrote Lieutenant William J. Powell in Black Wings, 1934, dedicated to Coleman, we have overcome that which was worse than racial barriers. We have overcome the barriers within ourselves and dared to dream. Powell served in a segregated unit during World War I and tirelessly promoted the cause of black aviation through his book, his journals, and the Bessie Coleman Aero Club, which he founded in 1929. Coleman's example proved an inspiration for a number of pioneers in aeronautics and eventually astronautics, including John Robinson, Cornelius Coffey, Willa Brown, Janet Harmon Bragg, Robert H. Lawrence, and Mae Jemison. On April 30th, 1926, Coleman was in Jacksonville, Florida. She had recently purchased a Curtiss JN-4 in Dallas. Her mechanic and publicity agent, 24-year-old William D. Wills, flew the plane from Dallas in preparation for an air show and had to make three forced landings along the way because the plane had been so poorly maintained. Upon learning this, Coleman's friends and family did not consider the aircraft safe and implored her not to fly it, but she refused. She was planning a parachute jump for the next day and was unharnessed as she needed to look over the side to examine the terrain. About 10 minutes into the flight, the plane unexpectedly went into a dive and then a spin at 3,000 feet above the ground. Coleman was thrown from the plane at 2,000 feet and was killed instantly when she hit the ground. Wills was unable to regain control of the plane and it plummeted to the ground. He died upon impact. The plane exploded, bursting into flames. Although the wreckage of the plane was badly burned, it was later discovered that a wrench used to service the engine had jammed the controls. Coleman was 34 years old. Funeral services were held in Florida before her body was sent back to Chicago. While there was little mention in most media, news of her death was widely carried in the African American press. 10,000 mourners attended her ceremonies in Chicago, which were led by activist Ida B. Wells. Bessie Coleman has received many honors and awards, some as recently as 2023, where Coleman was honored in the American Women Quarter Series. Coleman has roads named after her in Chicago, Oakland, Tampa, Florida, Germany, and a few other places. Bessie Coleman was an inspiration to African Americans, women, Native Americans, and just so many other people who were told that they couldn't do something because of their gender or their race or their nationality. So we just want to honor Bessie Coleman, and I hope that she continues to inspire more and more people throughout the years. So now we have arrived at the Tell It to Ta segment of the podcast. This is the part where, people just send in questions, comments, and concerns. And, I see what I can do for them. And it's usually not much, but you know what? We do this for the fun of the game, the love of the game. We do it for the glory. So this is our first submission. Hi, Ty. I come to you with some issues. I've been dealing with this man. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Okay. I've been dealing with this man that's about 10 years older than me. We met on vacation out of the country 6 years ago, and from then we can't seem to communicate what we want from each other. I am a very successful black woman that's doing her thing. Y'all been talking for 6 years and still can't communicate what y'all want from each other. Y'all must not want much. He also is successful, so it would make a perfect partnership. I know the love is there physically, emotionally, and sexually, and respectfully. We have been off and on to the point I was in a relationship for a few months. We listen, we don't judge. I was sexually still dealing with him. I made a mistake of dating another guy that became completely obsessed to the point he sent me flowers. I think she meant flowers on Valentine's Day, and my guy was there. Oh, that's awkward. He stalks me every he stalks my every move. which becomes very scary. Watching me when I came in the house, popping up in the middle of the night to the point I've called the cops. My guy was pissed about the flowers, which opened up a can of shit. I'm a little confused. Is the guy you met on vacation the stalker, or is it the guy that you started dating during one of your breaks that's the stalker? He asked me to throw them away, and ever since then, he has been up my ass and showing me a different level of passion. Long story, I am completely ready for the next step, and I want to be honest with him and tell him what's the plan, period. I've let him tell me for years what his plans are, and I just been rocking out. Now, being in my 30s, I feel like it's time I want my eggs and name dropped. Truth be told, I think our problem is that we share mutual friends, and I think that he is scared of what people will think of the age gap, which I don't give a fuck because humbly, I'm straight. I can't continue to feel the way I've been feeling, but I'm scared of his rejection. What should I do? I'm hoping I didn't wait too long, that he is way too comfortable of where we are at. But tell me, Ty. Okay, I think y'all need to just have a conversation. Like, just sit them down. Like, hey, listen, we've been doing this off again, on again thing for 6 years. Like, you've been cracking my eggs and just tossing this. No, but seriously, if it's been 6 years, I don't know where the confusion is at. Y'all been dating for 6 years. Y'all been in the talking stage for 6 years. Like, come on, stop playing, have the conversation, and go have y'all a real relationship. I'm going to do one more submission. This woman made my life hell. One day on Facebook, she posted she had gotten a free Britney flag. This was before the conservatorship was removed. This day happened to coincide with the annual bourbon taste. This day happened to coincide with the annual bourbon tasting put on by our local zoo. The zoo has a bourbon tasting, so you'll just get drunk and go look at the animals. Do the animals get drunk too? After drinking all of the bourbon, me and some accomplices went to her house, stole the free Britney flag without being caught. It should be Anne stole the free Britney flag without being caught. For weeks, it was the talk of the town on Facebook. She still doesn't know it was me. Um, did she have like an emotional attachment to this free Britney flag? Is she like a big Britney Spears fan? I get it was a prank, but I'm never an advocate of taking people's stuff. You don't go into nobody's house and steal they shit, no matter how stupid you think the item is. This was years ago. Um, is she still upset about it? Like, what's the nature of your friendship? Like, if she were to find out that you stole her flag, would that like put a strain on the friendship? I don't know. Here's my advice. If the friendship is still going good, if she has no clue that y'all stole the flag, I say don't say anything. Maybe like just show up one day and like just drop the flag off, or like don't make it obvious that it was you. Let her just stumble upon it one day and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I found my flag. Yay." But like if her finding out that you took the flag will end the friendship, I say don't say nothing. Now, I personally would never steal my friend's free Britney flag, but to be fair, I don't know that we have bourbon night at the zoo. Does the Bronx Zoo do like a bourbon night or a margarita night or something? I honestly can't speak to this because I've never been in that position. I would have to get drunk at, drink at the zoo night and then see how I would behave. And then maybe I can give you some better advice. But thank you for reaching out, and I hope everything works out. Well, our time has come to an end once again. I will be back again next week. Don't ask me what day because I don't know. I don't want to give y'all a date that I can't commit to because, shit keeps on coming up. I keep getting busier and busier and busier. And, I really am committed to this podcast, but trying to fit it into my schedule has been a bigger hassle than I was ready for because sometimes I just be tired and don't feel like doing this. But I will see y'all again. We got one more Black History episode left and one more dashiki for me to wear. So until next time, have a productive week.